Cell phones are becoming the rage. Cell phones are becoming the rage. Cell phones are the rage. And if you drive down almost any street in almost any part of this country, you will see a driver doing at least two things, if not more. One is navigating the street, and two, talking on a cell phone. California is one of the states that not long ago adopted a law that said you cannot talk on the cell phone while at the same time driving your car. So a number of people went to earphones or other methodologies to hype their car, their truck, what have you, so that they don't have to talk through a handset being held while they drive. Why is this important? Well, I think there are a number of reasons. From the personal side, you are distracted. A study from the Department of Transportation, I think it was a federal agency not long ago, came out with the conclusion that people who drive while talking on a cell phone are worse than people who are driving drunk. Now, that's a pretty scary thing. I can tell you from my own experience that my attention does wander if I'm talking on the phone while driving, but to have the national statistic suggest to us that it's worse than driving drunk is really scary, because we all know what the problems are driving drunk and how many accidents are a result as a consequence. There's another aspect to that. Of course, you're violating the law. So, as lawyers, we shouldn't violate the law. There's a third element here for law firms, however, and that is that the law firm is going to be held, in most cases, civilly liable, if not worse, for the negligence of the lawyer who is driving while using the cell phone. There's an article that I read a few months ago in the North Carolina Lawyers Weekly that talked about one of their state's law firms actually facing the lawsuit for a lawyer who was driving and at the same time talking on the phone. Fortunately or unfortunately, the claim was made that the conversation was relating to the work for the law firm. Imagine the law firm's chagrin if the lawyer were driving and the conversation were personal and not legally related, not their business related conversation. But nevertheless, whatever the nature of the conversation, the law firm will be held as a party defendant in a lawsuit for negligence, and you'd better have good insurance. Now, how can you combat this as a law firm? How can you defend yourself? How can you, if need be, have a cross-complaint for indemnification against the individual lawyer? Because obviously you, the law firm, are not intending for your lawyer, your employee, to violate the code. Well, one of the ways of doing that, I think, is to have a policy. Have a policy in place that lawyers cannot talk on a handheld cell phone while driving. Equip their vehicles with a mechanism, or give them a Bluetooth mechanism that they can stick in their ear while driving. And make sure that you have the lawyer, your employee, acknowledge receipt of the policy, acknowledging, understanding the policy, so that if and when that policy is violated, you can say, in good conscience, we did everything we could to protect not only ourselves, but also the public. Now, that may result in an hour or two of less billing, but it certainly will prevent a lawsuit of any consequence. Cell phones are a marvelous part of today's technology, but make sure that we're using it correctly. Thanks for joining us.